Why isn't this a thing yet? What is up, guys? My name is TC and welcome back to Geek Theory. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for all the support you guys have been showing me on my latest videos. The order the DCEU movies should have been released is already almost at 20K, and that's crazy for a channel my size of what, 700 subscribers. To get a video to hit that big is really cool, and I'm glad you guys are seeing the work that I'm putting in, and I just can't wait to pump out more quality videos for you guys. And the reason it takes so long is because the process is a little bit long for me. I have to think of the concept, I have to think of the idea, then I have to get on camera and film like I'm doing now, and then the editing process in terms of the way I edit my videos. It takes a while for me to put out a new video, but I'm going to promise and hopefully stick to it that I'm going to put out one video per week. And you know, if all goes good and all goes well and this channel starts to pick up some steam, I can put out, you know, 2 videos a week or 3 videos a week. It all depends on how much you guys are liking it and how much you guys want. So let's get right into today's topic. DC, you guys should be on Netflix. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say, I've heard rumors of like a Nightwing series that's supposed to be on HBO, and that's all fine and dandy, but guess what? Not everybody has HBO. HBO doesn't come with basic cable, and a lot of people don't even have cable anymore. The streaming services have taken over. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, you name it, Vimeo. There is a streaming service that will allow you to watch your favorite shows without even having cable. So let's talk a little bit about Marvel and Netflix, because Marvel is slaying it. Marvel is killing it on Netflix. You have Daredevil season 1 and 2, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and soon to be released Iron Fist. And the Marvel villains on Netflix are seriously some of the best villains in the entire MCU, and that's including some of the movies. So this got me thinking, DC, why aren't you on Netflix yet? Why have you not put anything on Netflix? I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, TC, they're going to confuse everybody. They're already confusing people with the CW verse and the DCEU. And what I have to say to that is, who cares? They're already confusing people. For example, when they first announced the Shazam movie, you know, with The Rock as Black Adam, they initially announced that as not canon and not a part of the DCEU, which they later came out and said, no, never mind, it is canon, because they knew it was going to be a terrible idea. Also, this rumored Blue Beetle and Booster Gold team-up movie is not going to be in canon with the DCEU, which to me makes no sense, and you're further going to confuse everybody. And then you have the CW verse and Gotham, and you have what used to be CBS and Supergirl, which she has now moved to CW. But anyway, you have all these things going on. And I have a way that you can put DC on Netflix, not confuse anybody, and I just think it would be an awesome idea. So here on Geek Theory, I do more than just rant and
rage over the decisions DC and Marvel make sometimes.
I give my opinions and I give suggestions and criticisms on how things can be fixed, or at least in my own opinion, how things can be made better. So how does DC do it? How does DC get on Netflix and thrive and be successful? Basically, you just have seasons and different files, and I'm going to call these the DC files. Kind of like the X-Files, but not really. But anyway, you go onto Netflix and you kind of do it similar to what they're doing with American Horror Story on FX. What they do is that they have different seasons and they cast the same actors and actresses to play different roles on each season. So for example, if you're casting John Hamm as Batman and you need him to be a little bit older, you know, for season 2 in a totally different series, I don't know, put some gray in his hair, give him a cryogenic suit, something like that. But anyway, that's how I would do it. I would have the same actors portray the same characters in different seasons and dress them up how you like it and, you know, what the story calls for. So without further ado, I chose 3 comic book storylines that I feel would be perfect to adapt to a 13 to 14 episode Netflix series. Let's go ahead and get into our first one right now. DC Files Season Number 1, Identity Crisis. Think about this, guys. A 13 to 14 episodic series where you have the murder mystery here. Elongated Man's wife, Sue Dibney, is killed, and no one knows who killed it. And the DC and the Justice League just freak the F out, and they're like, man, We're gonna find out who did this no matter what. This has one of my favorite, Deathstroke scenes and panels in it where he's taking out almost half the league by himself. The amazing tactician he is. But anyway, guys, just think about the cliffhangers they could leave episode after episode. Like, is Dr. Light the killer? Is so-and-so the killer? They could easily drag this out. And this is a story that would really benefit from the detail, from Batman going in, being the detective he is, and investigating, who killed Sue Dibney. You can have a lot of mistrust here, because you guys know, if you've read the comment, and don't worry, I'm not going to give any major spoilers, but there are issues within the league in terms of what they should do to Dr. Light when they suspect him of being the killer of Sue Dibney. But anyway, guys, that is my idea for the DC Files Season 1. Let's go ahead and get into Season 2. DC Files Season 2, Tower of Babel. One of my favorite storylines ever. You can imagine this, guys. You have Batman being a weasel, throughout the episode, slowly acquiring this information about what is going to incapacitate the other Leaguers. And this would just be a beautiful thing to tell over the course of 13 to 14 episodes. And maybe halfway through the series, Batman's plans and all his contingency plans for all the Leaguers get stolen. They're stolen by Talia al Ghul and given to Ra's, and then all hell breaks loose. You have the Leaguers, shunning Batman and not trusting him, and just chaos erupts. And this is a beautiful story that they can easily tell, because you have to have that mistrust build. Because yes, although Batman is collecting these contingency plans on Superman, Martian Manhunter, and these are just to incapacitate them, not to kill them, but you can have themes going on in this series on whether Batman's doing the right thing. Whether there should be plans in place just in case any of the heroes decide to go rogue. But yeah, guys, I think Tower of Babel would be great to bring into my DC Files Netflix Season 2. And let's go ahead and get into my last suggestion on the DC Files Season 3. DC Files Season 3, Thy Kingdom Come. Guys, I keep saying guys, because I'm hyped too. Imagine, adapting Kingdom Come into like 12 or 13 episode series on Netflix, where you have, pretty much like Marvel's Civil War. And, this story and the scope of this story is just so huge that it deserves all the attention to detail. This book itself sets it up for some amazing cliffhangers in terms of at the ending of certain episodes. For example, when Lex Luthor reveals his, his ace in the hole, his backup plan, or his anti-Kryptonian plan, which is basically Billy Batson as Captain Marvel. If you hadn't read the comic and you're watching this for the first time, you'd be like, oh shit, like that is awesome. Also, you have Batman going behind the scenes, pretending to work with Lex Luthor, and you have that infamous panel where he's shaking Lex's hand at the end. Now imagine if you hadn't read the comic and you're watching this for the first time. You're in suspense. You're like, Batman, are you really teaming with Lex Luthor? This series and these types of Netflix series could really bring in, the people that haven't grew up and read the actual comic book, because they have no idea of the story. And after watching this series, they'll be like, man, that is so awesome. I want to pick up the comic book and read it. But yeah, guys, the sky is the limit with the Kingdom Come storyline, because you get to have, mainly if you want to adapt it, you can have the Shazam or Captain Marvel, as some may know him, versus Superman battle at the end. And I can imagine the bar or the lounge that they go to is the Daily Planet or whatever, I forgot it was, but it's superhero themed. I can imagine the superheroes walking in and seeing everybody dressed as them and just using them as like kind of a Planet Hollywood type thing. I don't even think this could be told in a 2.5-hour movie. I think Kingdom Come deserves 13 hours, just like they give us 13 hours of Daredevil, 13 hours of Jessica Jones, 13 hours of Luke Cage. Kingdom Come is definitely a storyline that needs that attention to detail, and I think that this could be super awesome if DC decides to do it. Alright guys, so those were my 3 ideas for the 3 seasons of DC on Netflix. I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you think my ideas were shit, or did you guys like my ideas? Also, I want to know if you guys know of any DC storylines that you think would be perfect for a Netflix adaptation. I am so curious to see what you guys want to say, and your opinions on what DC storylines you think would be perfect for this, because And also, if you guys have any criticisms, and I don't care about negative comments on my channel. I take all criticism and I just take that and I soak it all in, and I try to make my videos better for you. But I just want to say, thank you again for, checking out my older videos and subscribing to this channel. I can't wait to put out more and more videos more often for you guys. And if you guys enjoyed this today, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, share it, subscribe, and as always, keep theorizing, geeks. Hadouken!